Hey everybody, Chrissy Tobas here today. I'm going to show you how to make this sweet little card. I'm using these items from Whimsy Stamps. There is a stamp set along with the die, and I'm just going to show you real quick how I cut apart my dies when I get them. Lots of times they're kind of pieced together, so I just use some wire cutters that I have and clip them apart. So once they are clipped apart, now I can use all of my inks. So I am using a bunch, well not a bunch, but some of my inks from the RinaKDesigns Electro-Pop ink line. So these are nice and bright. They're neon inks. Super fun for summer, very kind of like 80s-ish, but keep in mind that if you don't like that neon look, you can always mix it with a few different mediums to kind of tone it down. We've had a few people mix it with like white acrylic paint or some of our gels, and then it kind of tones down a little bit. So even if you're not crazy about neon, you can still use these neon inks in a different type of way. So now I am just securing these dies down using some purple tape. I knew I was going to do 3 colors for the 3 dies, and I'm just going to go ahead and stack them together. Now what I should have done first is put some easy cut adhesive on the back, but I didn't think about it until afterwards. So I am just using my XL memory tape runner. This works fine too. Remember, you have a bunch of options with your adhesives, even liquid glue if you want to. So don't get stuck in one adhesive. So then next I decided that I wanted to kind of pop up that layer that I just secured together. So I am using some Gina K foam squares. Now these squares come in white and black, and there's actually this nice little pull out thing on the box. I'll show you because I'm going to use the black later when I make this card. The white I kind of already had pulled apart, so I didn't get to show it on here. And so I have now made a nice little 3D die cut using just those 3 dies and just those 3 inks. And for all of the inks and everything listed, just check the blog post. I'm going to list all of my supplies so you can see what everything is. So then I just kind of laid out that die, deciding where I wanted to put it, and then I just went ahead and I stamped this cute little Fairy Llamacorn. This stamp set, by the way, is called Fairy Llamacorn Magic, and those dies are Sweet Word and Shadow dies. So then I kind of wanted to test. Now, I'll tell you right now, it didn't work that great. I was using the neon inks to try to watercolor with. So I did do a little bit, but I did have to clean off my brush right away. So I just want to warn you that it does work, but that ink, the formulation of it will kind of stick to your brush. So you have to make sure you clean off your brush really, really well. I wouldn't use it on a brush that you care a lot about, just in case it reacts poorly and sticks to the brush. So then I just decided I would do the rest of my Fairy Llamacorn using other inks because I did want a watercolor. I kind of felt like the softness of the watercolor would make the neon pop a little bit more, because after we watercolor, there's still more that we're going to do. So to watercolor, I just kind of put a nice light layer down, and then I just keep coming back over and over again with that same color or a similar color to kind of darken it up wherever I want those shadows to be. And then once you have those multiple layers on there, then we start getting that watercolor look that we all know and love with all the layers, and it just looks like you've put so much work into it, but in reality it's actually a lot less work, I think, than coloring or using color pencils or markers or anything. My personal preference is watercoloring because it is so forgiving. I can totally screw up and nobody knows. So now I'm going to add, like I had mentioned, some of that Electro-Pop Flock. So again, you have some different adhesive options. I am just going to go ahead and use my tape runner, my Memory XL runner, because I had it sitting out on my desk and I was like, you know what? Let's give it a go. Let's see how it works. And it actually worked really well. I could put it on there, and then if a little bit got outside of the area I wanted it to be, I could just take my nail, you can see I'm doing that a few times, and push it in. So it really was forgiving and worked really, really well. So then I was able to put the flock into the dark areas of my Fairy Llamacorn. So these are the black Gina K foam squares that I mentioned earlier. So I like using those on my darker cards because, when you look at it from the side, not that it matters that much, but it's nice having the black foam with the black card base instead of having that bright white showing up and popping through. So now I'm just going to go ahead and assemble my card. So again, using my standard tape runner to assemble. You could definitely use foam squares if you wanted to give it a little more elevation. I felt like I had enough because I already had the foam on that sweet die and then the foam on the card as well. And then I just kind of felt like I needed something else in here. So I did end up off camera adding a little bit of blue ink in that upper corner. So here you can see how nice that flock is. I hope you will give the flock and all of our Electro-Pop line a try. Thanks for stopping by and have a great day.